So the next stage in the process is once you have your tank clean and ready to go, then you want to think about what you're going to use as your substrate and how you're going to decorate the tank. So this particular time I decided that I was going to use a soil. I wanted to do some underwater aquatic plants. So I purchased these from Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description and you can see those. So I landscaped everything under the bottom of the aquarium. I placed my rocks and other decorations that I wanted in there where I wanted them to go. And then the process that I used for these seeds is that you plant the seeds and then you want to make sure that you keep the soil moist. You want to make sure that the temperature is sufficient, that it helps to simulate the sun and give better plant growth. And so then the two plants that I used, one grows to about 5 or 6 inches or somewhere that height. The others are just a basic small covering underneath. And so they only grow to up to about 1 inch or 2. So if you plant them both at the same time, the one grows a lot more quickly than the other. And I believe they recommended that you plant the one first and then you wait till the other comes up. So that's what I did. I planted the longer grass. I waited till they come up for a few days and then I planted the grass in the front. So once I had that process completed, then you can begin to fill your tank with water. So you want to make sure that you do this very slowly because depending on the root structure of the underwater plants that you've placed in there, you don't want to just wash those plants right back up and then lose all of those plants from where they had been previously taken root. So you want to be careful about about how you put your water in. So you can see here that I've very slowly and laboriously filled the aquarium using some cups and so on. And even so, you can still see that it does disturb the plants even just a little bit as I've done it. So you want to make sure you're really careful, especially as you get started. Once you see here, as you get a little bit farther along with the filling, then it's not going to be as disturbing. You're able to kind of put the cup all the way down in, raises the level of the water, and then you can just kind of tip the cup over. But again, you still have to be careful that you're not putting too much moving water inside the aquarium and uprooting your plants. So after you have everything filled with water, you want to get your everything inside, such as your filters and your heating and everything ready to go. So when you have filled your tank, you want to wait for a couple of days, for potentially up to a couple weeks, in order for your tank to cycle. I know this, when you're wanting to start a new aquarium, it can be hard to wait, but it is important because your tank will develop a natural symbiotic relationship with bacteria and things that are growing inside and algae and so on. And it's important that that become established before you start introducing your fish, because you may have spikes of different things, different levels that you may need to be aware of, such as your nitrogen levels and ammonia and all kinds of things, salinity. You have to be careful with all of those elements when you're adding your fish, because if that is not stabilized before you add your fish, then it could potentially be devastating for them and they could die before they get established. So it's important to make sure that you go through that process. After you have done that, then you can begin to the next stage and get ready to add your fish. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one.